You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking at.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sharon Campbell. I am your host today for the Plan to Prosper podcast show. I want to tell you this is going to be a fantastic month, June. And the reason why we're going to be talking about grants, funding opportunities for nonprofits and for private industries. So many times we get requests for people asking us the question, is there any money for this? Is there any money for that? I'm a private business. Can I get funded? I'm a nonprofit. Seem like the more grants I have written, we are not getting them. And they're trying to figure out what is going on, being that we have over $500 million in funding last year that was given out. But 53% of that went to, 53% did not reach nonprofits across the United States. And you want to know, oh my goodness, why is it that I wasn't part of receiving grants? And one of the reasons we're going to go through is that we're going to look at what industry you're in, who are you sending grants to, and do you really understand what grants and funding is really is being? Because I tell my clients that think as funding as, would you give this organization $50,000, $100,000? Think about your organization if your books are not correct, if your website doesn't say what you are doing, if you have not positioned yourself to receive that. And I always ask, what would someone give you money to start your company? I get that question a lot. I need funds to start my business. Well, why would someone give you $10,000 or $20,000, $30,000 or $5,000 or even $1,000 to start your company? What is the benefit to them? Yes, there is plenty of funding money available. Too often also, we think if we could just go on Google and ask Google or ask Siri to find us funding for this, that's it. That is part of it. So each Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be giving you information just to help you understand the process. You also have the opportunity during this time to send questions in that we can answer. We're going to also post on our blog the myths about funding, the do's and don'ts about funding, but most important, the hard work it takes to get a grant. And many times we do not want to put in that type of work to receive a grant. It may take you a year to get your company in a position to apply for your first grant. And so it's great in order for you to start looking at the funding screen for what you're looking for. Have someone to help you develop a funder tracker, which is a system where you can say when grants are due. You can also go ahead and look at the grants. Sometimes the funders will let you go ahead and see it. Sometimes they will not if you're not ready. And so that depends on the funder. But that will give you some idea of the paperwork you need to put in place. Now, I'm going to give you the number one reason why many people, organizations, or private companies do not get funding. You do not have your paperwork in order. And the reason why, because you don't know what to have. Yes, that's it. You didn't update your website, and all you hear was, oh, there's some money out there. I want to apply for it now. The other one is that all the myths and the people tell you about funding, or you write your first grant and you don't get it and you get frustrated. There's a reason why. Everything has a reason. And the more you understand the funding world and how it works and how partnerships, collaboration works for everyone. In the funding world, it cannot be a solar eye for eye, because funders want to make sure their money reach as many for impact. And tonight is our kickoff for grants and funding. And so I'm just going to have a conversation with you just for tonight, this Tuesday. And starting next Tuesday, we're going to have different topics that we're going to go through that will better help you position yourself. And so this will give you a week to start thinking about how do I want to position myself. So this whole other myth that they have, grant writers can write themselves into a grant. Unless that person is actually on staff going to be doing something, they don't get the luxury of writing themselves into a grant, hoping that they get funding, and that's the way you pay them. A grant writer needs, desires, requires to be paid for them actually putting the grant together for you. So I hear this question, I see one popped up. But how about if I don't get the grant? Do I lose my money? No, you don't use your money. You have already invested in that person and they have an expertise. Now, everyone is not a great grant writer. Oh, I said another question. Excuse me. How do you tell the difference of a good grant writer and not so? Give me 1 minute. Thank you. Well, one of the things I would share with you is that you look at and you interview people, and of course you say, well, I never had a grant, so what someone says and stuff. So a lot have to do with, can they walk you through the whole grant? Does it make sense? Can they speak the language? I know for myself, we have written grants, we have co-written grants, we have also read grants, engraved them, scored them. We have been we do a lot of grant research. our company, the Sharon Campbell Solution Group, we provide grant research where we will find the grants for your cause and teach you how to write a grant. Oh, I got the question again, but I don't want to do that. Okay, that may be true, but remember this: if you at least have the knowledge, so whoever you do choose to help you write the grant, you have the knowledge to see what they're doing and putting it together. So I think you don't have to do everything, but you do have to have an understanding because you have to sign off to say you're going to be responsible if you get funded. And we're going to go through parts of grants because every grant is different, but so many information is the same. And so I think that would be beneficial to everyone. But and you also have to think about your funder asking them for or them to invest in you and why they should. You are not going to receive every grant you write. Okay. You probably going to have to pay a grant writer, especially if that person not on staff receiving a salary. Too many times, I cannot repeat this, the client would say, well, can't you write yourself into the grant? No. Unless they particularly is doing something. I know you said that already. The reason why I really want you to really hear that. Would you work and spend hours putting together something for somebody, submit it for them, and they say no? Who's going to pay you for all your time? And then the other side, the flip side of the coin, is when people do not receive the grant, they get frustrated because they think that you have taken their money. You have not done what you need to do to be funded, but that's not necessarily true. Because grants are scored. And so if they're only giving out 10 and the top 10 scores are 99 to 87 and you score 86 or 85, it is not that person did not write a great grant. It's that other people wrote something different that the funder liked. They could have a history of receiving funds and they show that they can manage grants, where this may have been your first grant. Another one, I think so many organizations and private businesses, they want to go after the large grants first because they need the money, or they look at it as what I could do with this money could really help us in the long run. But for funders, look at, okay, you haven't never managed $100,000 to $200,000 in grants. Where is the data to say that you can do that? And especially if you're a nonprofit, your business, when they ask for your financials and you ask for 100, but in reality you're making $30,000, $50,000 a year, and that could be an issue also. So there's so many different ways to understand how funders think, why it's important to position yourself early in the funding world, and then build relationships during that time. Many times funders will place on their website who they have funded in the past. It's a great idea to call and build a relationship with those organizations or businesses in order to get a feel of what they went through, how they presented. And so it's so much to get into that. And many, many times it's the work we have to do on top of building our organization or our company that you say how much more time it is. It is that part of your portfolio at all? Even if you're talking about having angel investors or cloud funding or other people you want to target, or you pitch your company and hope that you win the prize. It's all about having your stuff in order. So I cannot tell you, if it takes a year for you to get everything in order, you are better prepared, and it's going to grow your company so much more if you take that time. Now, for nonprofits, we go on the IRS website, and the first thing we see is, oh, I'll do the easy 250 for only $250. I'm not paying $600. So right at that time, if you would read the fine print, or if you would read everything that is required, you're going to find out at 250 that is not the choice that you want to make, because it's limiting you to what you really want to do. And IRS knows that. So you may get your 501(c), but when you can see that letter, it's going to tell your funders what you apply for, which is the easy, and it's going to go ahead on and exempt you altogether from that grant application. Now you're saying, well, I'm just going to go back and pay them the difference. So you do the 600. Well, that is not how it works with the government. You're going to have to pay the whole 600 plus the 250 you are going to lose, and all you had to do is do it the first time. And then we have ones that says, I could do the application myself. I don't need to pay anybody to do that. I will just do it myself and save my money. And you can do that. The issue you may have is whenever the federal government, decides that they needed to ask you more questions because you did not fill the application out correctly. And now you have went from waiting 180 days, because it can take that long, to them asking you more questions and more questions, where you could have worked with someone that actually have done this, and that's what they're doing for a living. Yes, there's so many companies, templates out there that would say, well, we'll get your EIN number, we'll do your bylaws, we'll do this, and it's $495. And then there's other ones where they would say, not only will we help you to complete all your documents for federal and state, but we also will provide you nonprofit training so you'll understand how to run and manage a nonprofit, along with teaching you about the grant world. And they may charge $3,000. And you get a certification, and your organization is certified in nonprofit leadership and development. So what you see is, oh, I can get this $475 versus $3,000. When you really look at it, that company is a cookie cutter company. And guess what? You pay for what you get. And they're going to charge you for everything they do. Getting an EIN number, and I have not looked at these sites, but clients that have used them say, oh, they charge for that $60, $75. Well, for them to just type out the information for you, so that tells you you haven't went through training to understand the whole process. And so even with them filling out your application, they're asking you the same questions that's on the application. You provided them information, and they don't really know if it's correct, if the IRS, if you're saying it right. No, then it's like, okay, what's your programs? Okay, blank. But they're not writing it in order for you to get funded. or teaching you how to look at program development to develop your programs so you can get funded by funders. Because the goal is to have programs that's fundable that and meet the need of the community. That's the goal. That's the tip. That's it. Period. And so what we're going to do is take a quick commercial, come back, and we're just going to have continue this conversation. I'm going to answer some of the questions that's just popped up, and we're going to wrap it up and wait to next Tuesday at 7 p.m. where we'll have a particular topic. Watch our Facebook to see what the topic is about. Get prepared. Bring your team so they can learn together. And we are going to talk about the funding world, both nonprofit and profit, and how you can benefit. Okay, I thought we was going to commercial. Welcome back. So let's get back started about grants and the opportunity of doing grants. So let's kick it out with this. Have you thought about unlocking your potential with grant power? How will writing grants empower not only yourself, but your company, your brand, your organization? What would this money do for you? Would it be a one and done? Is it a program or a service that you can duplicate and continue funding it without the grant? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about funding your dreams, one grant at a time. Yes, say so many people ask for startup money. So if you're asking someone to invest in you in order to do your website, so you don't have money for your website, you don't have money to buy your article in corporations, you don't have money to get it in business cards. So you write that budget, say it's going to cost me all of this to start my business. If you cannot pay for that, we need to sit down and talk about how to do a budget, because that's so very important that you invest, or you find some family and friends that will invest to get you started. Okay. Grants, you think about being innovative and stuff that inspire people. Private industry want it to look at, creating innovative ideas, how you're going to change, how you're going to make a profit. And then nonprofit is more of the feeling. How you going to make a person feel that they're going to advance to the next level. So we're going to talk about the difference in how you look at how to transform an ideal into reality with grant support. Mm-hmm. You're thinking about it. your project is $50,000, but you have half, and what you need is someone to invest in you the other half, and to show them how you can double that in impact and sustain that. Empowering your vision with the right grant. You know, don't chase money from grants. Chase purpose. Too often people see, oh, there's some grants out there. I want to apply, but you don't qualify. And then you want to go on your website and manipulate your website to say you qualified. But then when the funder asks for partners or things you have done, you don't have the supporting documents to support that. So don't look at a grant and say, oh, it's $100,000. Let me tweak my mission to go after this money. Because funders, whether they're a foundation, government, federal, state, may change their mission for what they want that money to go to because of the way the economy is structured and ran. So you cannot, or you shouldn't. You really shouldn't change your mission to chase a amount of money. The key to projects and its success is through what type of funding you have and what that needs to look like. And the other one is to get funded, get moving, and get growing. And so I think that's so very important, because you have to do the legwork. I am a investor in seeking out people with the expertise to do that. And I don't allow money to not pay them to attain what is needed to grow my organization. When you look at it as, I don't want to take my money to pay someone to help me set up my nonprofit, or to help me structure my company to receive funding, then you have already set yourself up to get all the funding that you possibly can have. That's just how the funding world works. So don't set yourself up like that. Pay people that can provide you the services you need to help you get what you want. Repeat that. Every grant you will not get. The more you write, the better you are. The more you submit, the better you are. And I do hear people say, I don't want to write grants. I want someone else to do that. And what you're saying is, I want to pay someone to keep submitting grants, knowing that everyone they submit, they are not going to get. And I will say this, and this is true. Some grant writers are pricey. Some are too cheap. I mean, you have to look at them like, well, if you're going to write $100,000 grant for this $750, I don't know, but because that's low ball. That's a low amount for the type of work they're going to have to do for $100,000 plus. Especially if in an organization, if you are looking at your goals, and they don't match up to what it is that you are asking for, or what the funders are requesting of you. And let me point this out. Many times there's a quiz before you able to get inside to look at the grant at all. Period. Funders ask you certain questions, and you have to pass all of them before they open up the grant for you to start thinking about what all the materials that you're going to need in order to apply for. So, and that's something that you can do before you hire a grant writer, is go in and answer the questions, and then print the grant application down to see, okay, do I have all this information? Now keep in mind, grants come around every year, every quarter, every month. So different types of grants, not all, but different types. So you have grants that's once a year, you have grants that's every quarter, you have grants that's every month, but it does not mean that the funder is going to fund that month. So I'm going to give you an example. If a grant is once a year, it probably take them 3 to 6 months to review the grant and get back to you. So during that time, what are you doing? Are you sitting waiting for that one grant to come back? No, you have so much other work. Some grants is they only look at grants 4 times a year. So you got to have it in a certain quarter, but it'd be the next quarter, which is 3 months before they even look at it. So they always back a quarter. So you have to really read a lot in order to understand the funding world and create you a sheet in order to be to receive the funds that you want or you desire or what you, and then the other question is so very important. Someone just popped up and asked is what do you do with this money? You have to use the money the way the grant is laid out. If you send your fund the funder that you're on your budget, this is how you're going to use this grant. These are the goals, these are the objectives, these are the outcome, these are the impact, this is how we're going to evaluate it. And then you're like, you know what, we need money to pay for another bill over here. And this money is here, and so we'll replace it later on. You cannot do that. You have to use the money for what it's meant for. So it's not like you can take it, use it, and then put it back. No, that's a no-no in the grant funding business. And we're going to talk about that whole process throughout this month on Tuesday. So some of the things I want to leave you with, I think is so very important that you understand that there are several different types of funding for both private and nonprofit, but there's a way that private and nonprofit can work together to secure funding. Funding can come from the government, state and federal, foundations, corporations, and individual family-owned foundations. Money, and we're going to talk about this, how it is divvied up in the funding world. I'm going to give you a chart. I'm going to give you some resources so you can look at and be familiar with, because all of that is so very important. And then what do you do once you are awarded? There's a whole protocol around being awarded and what you need to do and how you need to track it and how you have to stay engaged with the funder. They'll give you everything that you need to do. Resources. Do you have all the resources you need to make it happen? You know, to reach your goal. Never look at funding in the perspective of one and done. I mean, I need it now, but you can't sustain it. Because the goal towards receiving a grant is about sustainability. Not to do a project and it's over with, but how do you sustain this project to help your clients or the good of the community? And I want to share this with our private companies. You have like Verizon, QuickBooks. You have a lot of great organizations out there that is willing to provide funding to you. But you're going to have to be in a 6-month program or a 6-week program. You're going to have to do some stuff before you even be able to apply for that. And that become a hiccup for companies to do. For some reason, you don't want the additional training before you able to apply. But there's a reason why. They want to see if you committed. And so think about this. You want to get a product to line. And so you have a opportunity for Macy's department store to go through their 6 month or year training to understand and retail how to get your product in their store. You may have to go through that whole training before you get that $50,000. That's just an example. I'm just making up an example. I'm just telling you, I've seen that. And that commitment has to be to the organization and to one person that's going to show up all the time. Goldman Sachs has 1 million women, but they have a whole program you have to go through that they're working with. A whole curriculum. I went through it. Yes. You have work to do in order to move to the next level. So many. Verizon. Now I'm just going to tell you, I like Verizon, and the reason why, they have little mini courses you can take that's very helpful in growing your company. Whether you ever apply for a grant, ever, those courses is going to help you build your business. You just got to carve out some time to work on your company using their courses. Their courses are dynamite. I've learned so much from them. HubSpot. Take some of these courses. The time that you work, all the time you work in your business, compare and own your business, it has to equal out. You cannot be successful whether you're a nonprofit or a profit, just doing the work, calling, trying to make money every day. If you're not sitting down and taking time to say, this is the direction we're going in. These are the funding streams we are looking for. This is how we're going to get there. That is so important. You need to start doing that now, today, for 2025. Yes. And it should be a 3-year plan. 3 years. You should be looking at the trends of your market, whether you're a nonprofit or a private company, to see where it's heading. You should be getting the economic development plans if you're doing housing in your county, in your state, and become familiar with that. You have to educate yourself in order to grow your company. And you cannot do that if you're always just working 24/7 in it, trying to get the next client, trying to get the next client, trying to get the next grant, trying to get that, whenever you haven't built the foundation. So starting next Tuesday, building the foundation, what it's going to take, things you need to start putting in place. And the great thing I want to share with you is that our company, the Sharon Campbell Solution Group, we have a global certification program for nonprofits in leadership and management to teach you how to open up a nonprofit the correct way, how to, and then we have another program to help businesses and companies get all their stuff in line to approach funding. It makes a difference, a big difference. I always share with folks that we have a list of people you could call that we have service, have conversations with them But when you go through our program, our nonprofit, this is for our nonprofit groups, we're going to walk you through every step. And then the company will receive the certification. Our niche is this: there's no one in the classroom with you when we're working on your project. Your company is the only company that we're working with one on one. And the reason why, if you're a nonprofit and you have someone that specializes in housing, someone doing a youth program, and someone doing a senior citizen program, and that's what they specialize in, you, as a person that pays to attend, it is difficult for you to figure out, well, how she's talking about seniors, but I'm not doing anything with seniors. I'm doing something with you. So we have collected a lot of data, listened to a lot of people in focus group, and what they say they're missing is when they go to colleges, community colleges, or other centers, they provide them a journal perspective, then homing in to theirs. So what we do is we work with you one-on-one about your company. We work with you to help you design a fundraising for your organization or your nonprofit. We help you design a budget for your fund, for your nonprofit, your company, because we want you to walk away with all these tools that you could actually implement. We work with you about showing you how to write grants for your organization, your company. That is so very important to our brand, is that when a client leaves, they have asked all the questions that they need to be successful. And then we are definitely here for technical support the whole time. And so if you want to know anything else, you can reach us at www.thesharoncampbell.com. You can schedule an appointment with us. We'll talk you through the process and just really help you understand that even if you don't use us, at least you have the knowledge about the next one, the things you need to ask. If you are a company, what we're going to look at is government have funding, grants and loans. How to set your company up. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business, but do you have everything in place to make a difference? Um, Sometimes it could be your name is why you're not getting funding in both nonprofit and profit. It could be the way you're structured, your financial. Do you have your website? Does it says what you're doing? Are you keeping up to date? Are you on social media? And it doesn't mean you have to be on like 24 hours, but what are you doing? And the other ones, can I call somebody to verify your work? So very important. And can that person talk in detail about your work? It's not that I want to call them and have a conversation with them. I want them to talk in detail about what it is your company does. So if someone calls and talk about our company, the Sharon Campbell Solution Group, and they want to talk about our nonprofit certification under the Plan to Prosper Institute, our clients can tell them it's one-on-one. You're the only one in there. There's 10 modules, and some of the things the modules cover. And when you walk away, these are all the items you want to get from her or receive from her. And if you're missing something, you're going to be able to call her back. If you get stuck on a grant, you're going to be able to call the company back and get an answer. All of that matters. And is there a fee? Yes. Yes. What is the fee? Please schedule a time with us, because every nonprofit and every company is different. And so we cannot give you a flat fee unless we really figure out what your scope of work is. And that's a win-win for everyone. Because if we don't have to do this or that, and you already have it in order, then we don't charge for that. But knowledge is powerful. I just encourage you to share this information with others. And you can look at the video from Facebook, YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and LinkedIn. It's on the flyer. You can send us an email, and we can respond that way also to you. It's about how to get this information out so others can benefit. But I'm looking forward to next Tuesday. Be here at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Share it. Go to our website. Share. Go to our Facebook, our social media. We are putting out flyers for people. Share this information. I want to first thank Mark Lee, the producer of the show, Pod TV. They just do such great work to make sure we are in 200 countries every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And that makes a difference. And whenever I hear the work that Mark is doing and Pod TV, I know that person is in great hands. So thank you again for joining the Plan to Prosper podcast show. And we're talking about grant opportunities that want to jump. Have a fantastic night, and we will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Thank you.